In Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
What is up, YouTube? Ncaa31 here. Feeling better. I had a bit of a cold later part of this week, but I got my voice back and I'm able to breathe again. So that's a good thing. Someone sent me a message asking me how would I optimize Texas as a Tampa 2 team, so I figured why not do a video and show how I would do that, and also send them a message as a reply. You know, because sometimes you need to see the visual in order to, you know, see how all the pieces fit. And that gave me a fun idea. If any of you guys out there want to see a certain team Tampa 2'd, send me a message and I'll play a game with them, and I'll post it here. It'll spice things up a little bit, and you guys can see how your desired team looks running it. I didn't really have to do much with Texas. Their defensive line is just athletic enough to give me what I want. They have an impact player, defensive tackle, who's a bull rushing monster. Their other defensive tackle is just quick enough to be an athletic type defensive tackle who can spy a scrambler if need be. And their two defensive ends, one is an 81 speed and can get off blocks well, and the other is a 77, which is again right on that borderline area. But he can get off blocks good as well, so I can live with that 77 speed. Ideally I want 80 or above, but what can you do? And the only other change I make is I move their impact player right outside linebacker to middle linebacker with a 70 zone coverage, and I sub in their starting strong safety at that weak side linebacker position. So you're really playing a 4-2-5 basically.
From their own 23-yard
and, you know, having that strong safety there is both good and bad. You're a little bit light against the run. Sometimes you'll miss some tackles or get bulldozed in the running game. That'll happen. But you also have great coverage to close on the backside slants and any kind of drag. So it's a trade-off, like anything else on defense. You know, you give something, you get something, and vice versa. And on offense, I decided to run the Flexbone. Looking over their roster, Texas is a sneaky good Flexbone team. They have a athletic fullback. Their backs are pretty quick. Their receivers are decent. And their line, especially the right side of their line, from their center to the right, is very good. And I don't really trust Gilbert's throwing. I didn't want to run the run and shoot because the receiver's awareness was too low. And even though the receivers and tight ends are pretty good route runners, I just don't trust Gilbert throwing the ball. So I didn't want to run air raid or spread. So I decided to go Flexbone. And Gilbert's actually a sneaky good athlete. He's good enough and quick enough to be a, you know, threat that you at least have to worry about defending, you know, keeping the football. So Flexbone and Tampa 2 going up against LSU, which should provide a good test, a quality opponent. And there is, I leave the left outside linebacker alone. You can see why. He's very quick and he has 65 zone coverage, which is good enough out there. And with the hook zones at conservative, or my zone coverage at conservative, it extends the depth of those underneath zones a little bit, so he's able to guard that curl flat area a bit better because he's dropping back deeper. Now whether you want to do conservative or balance, that's up to you, and also adjust to the way your opponent is playing. Like you start out with conservative and your opponent shows that he's going to consistently take the underneath, then switch to balance, and vice versa. You know, just, you know, do whatever you are comfortable doing and how the game is playing out as well. Here he is trying to scramble. That's not going to happen. The end is quick enough, and he gets off his block, and there's nowhere to go. Plus, I had the quicker defensive tackle spying. So, there's not going to be any of that scrambling around the sidelines nonsense. And there's a case where the underneath was open. Again, make your opponent show that he's going to make that throw all game. And once he does, you know, then you can adjust by tightening up that zone depth or mixing in more man-to-man.
Shakes off a tackle. Tackle at the 40.
Good coverage by the defense, but they have to be aware of this quarterback.
And there I was in man as a changeup. And this is just cover 3. And the safety there stripped the ball and made the play. You know, you're going to get good pursuit there, obviously, with a faster safety in there. But again, you just run the risk of missing some more tackles that a linebacker would ordinarily make. And here's Texas running the flex.
At the 47-yard line. The D sniffs out the screen pass and holds him to a short gain.
I figured out the flex after a few games of, you know, grinding my teeth with it. You basically have to just go to numbers. If you have a play call and you see that that side is overloaded, you just got to either flip it or check to a pass play. And just count the box and go to where the weakness is. And the good thing about the Flexbone is that people are not used to playing against it, so they tend to, you know, go all out blitz heavy to stop it, because they think you're going to be option heavy or triple option heavy, and you can actually use that against them, use that aggression, you know, in your favor by roasting them outside with the speed sweep, the speed option, the quick option. Mix in some 60 series passes and some quick slants. You should be able to, you know, roast people who are trying to gang up on that option, and also run that fullback dive. And if you have a quick fullback, you can bounce it outside for a big gain. So this is how Texas looks like running the Tampa 2 and the Flexbone.
He gets out to about the 12-yard line.
And again here, just being patient. Flexbone is like Novocaine. Sometimes it takes a long time to set in, but it always works.
They'll run the option, and he makes it out to about the 11-yard line.
The only thing I don't like about running the option is that sometimes, I think it's because of the camera view, I don't always see, depending on what kind of option is, either the pitch man or the corner on that side. So sometimes I'm blind, I'm hesitant to pitch the ball. Then I go into replay mode after the game and see that, you know, the pitch would have been open, but I just really can't see it. I wish the camera would zoom out a little bit more on the option so you can see the perimeter a little bit better.
Hands it off, in for the score.
This kid is a really reliable weapon. You definitely want the...
And this guy punks out early because he's down 2 positions already, and he knows that he's going to have to dink and dunk his way down the field, and there's going to be no Jordan Terrison scrambling, so he knows what he's in for. He decides to pull the plug. So that's the Texas Tampa 2. Hope you guys enjoy, and I'll talk to y'all later. Take care.